Good afternoon, George Cavaligos for HFT Bonds. Whoa, that was weird. Interesting. Last night we were looking at the market sitting on its lows, threatening, a complete negative breakdown. And today we walk in, and that sell signal failed. The market didn't break down. I yelled out last night on Twitter, look for a rally to sell at this point. Pulled my stop from underneath the market when the Bears game started and went aside and walked in this morning, and the market had rallied quite a bit. I think by the time I got here this morning we were trading 8-ish, 9-ish again, and it sure looked like we were going up to 15. Bang, we got right up to 14.5. It's been struggling up here. I haven't had, we had a couple sell signals in bonds and ultras. We haven't had one in the 10 years. We've made minor new lows after we put in the highs fairly early this morning in the bonds and ultras. 10 years actually just printed its high again and stopped me out of the last little, short up here. I'm not trying to press. I don't see too many negative signs up here. We are seeing some small negative signs in the bonds and ultras. We're not seeing that in the 10-year yet. I sent out that chart. If you look at the rally off of last night's lows in the bonds and the notes, it kind of leaves open the door for another higher high. It's kind of hard to see on the chart that I sent because it's sort of an hour. I think it was an hour or 2-hour chart I sent. But if you go to a shorter term chart, you can see the rally. It looks like we did 1, 2, 3, and I think we're in 4 here right now, leaving open the door to at least one more higher high. So maybe equities open up again weak tomorrow. We have a little bit further of a sell-off. I don't know. There's guys on CNBC right now looking for 1100 in the S&P now. Maybe it'll get there. I just I don't see that happening. Remember a while back I sent out a chart that showed the pattern that the equities markets go through during election years. Typically there was a correction that ran from September through the beginning of November, late October, early November. So far we're holding that pattern. Fits the sort of fourth wave kind of corrective pattern that I thought we were looking at here in all these markets. On the downside in the S&Ps, if you look at that thing, we haven't even taken out the old lows from early summer. I think it was 1394 area, 1395. So we haven't even taken out the previous fourth wave lows there. I find it hard to get too bared up on equities at this point, even though the price action's not so good. On the bonds and notes, we haven't put up a big rally day like this in quite a while. We did decent volume, 800,000 in the 10-year. That's not, screaming buy, but we might have a little bit more to go. We haven't even bumped up against the 38% retracement. That's at 17 of the whole sell-off really yet. So we got to let this thing play out, and once we get the solid reversal signals, then we can jump on it and look for the move down to new lows or retest the old lows at least at a minimum. We could still be in a bigger corrective pattern. So your first objective is always a retest of the old lows. Beyond that, then you look for an impulse move through the old lows that would signal, significant new lows. Looking at this market, I think we're going to close with a bid here. We've got another hour in Globex. Treasuries are basically just sitting near their highs. Maybe we see a higher high tonight. I gotta imagine the Asian stock markets are going to be weak early tonight. Maybe even the European stock markets early tomorrow morning will be weak, and maybe then we'll see a higher high. The levels to watch obviously is 15 for the flat, but that's so close right now. I think we got to go a little bit more. 17 is the 382 retracement on the 10-year. On the bonds, 148.06 is the 50% retracement of the last sell-off. 148.08 is the C equals A target. On the 10-year going back again, 132.15 is C equals A. 132.17 is the 382 retracement. 132.23 is the 50% retracement. So the bonds have held up better here as the market broke. Remember, bonds did not test the previous lows last night like the 10-year did. So I'm kind of watching the bonds. Hopefully we'll get a good solid sell signal. We had a couple minor ones. It never morphed into anything more. You know, I never went out on the 30-minute charts or the hourly charts or even a daily chart, obviously, to get a sell signal. The only thing we were getting were the very short-term 5-minute sell signals. Probably could have scalped it for a couple ticks in the 10-year, not in the 10-year, I mean in the bonds and ultras. I think actually my sales were profitable for maybe a half a second on the 10-year short that I put on. Again, now we're just sitting right up at the highs here. Let it go higher. Look for reversal signals. I'll be around. I'll try to alert you to those reversal signals. I think we're close, but we're not there yet. You know, the trades I did today, I did 2 small trades. I think I lost, what? A tick and a half on both of them, or 2 at most. And it was only a 1x position. So picking tops, picking bottoms, you're doing it in very small size, very tight stops. Let the market, you know, determine if it's going to follow through, and then you can add. We didn't get the follow through. We did not add, and we kept the stop very tight and moved it down as the day progressed, and we didn't produce the rollover or, you know, the downward rotations that would signal further downside. So, all right, guys, have a great night.